Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. So today I want to tell you about the history of dartboard. To start with, originally dartboards were made from woods, but in 1923, Ted Legat made the first dartboard from another modeling clay. However, the dartboard was not a hit because it does not have the same sound as traditional one. In 1924, he added elm dartboard to another production, and brass element was added by 1928. More developments were made in 1931 by Frank Debs, who proposed using vertically laced rope bound to form a circular target. And in 1935, first another original bristle dartboard was produced. To add more, a clock pattern was adopted as the standard formation for all dartboards. Harry Kicks produced papercloth dartboards named Keep Dry as it not requires soaking like the Northern elm dartboards in 1945. Years later, the Kicks family produced bristle dartboards under the brand name H.A. Kicks & Son. In 1970s, the company changed its name to Windmount, and it has a strong affiliation with British Dart Organization. Therefore, starts the competition between two companies, which is Windmount and the Northern. However, the competition ended in 2002 as Northern bought Windmount.
Hi guys, now I will continue our presentation. I will present to you about properties of cylinder. We have 5 properties. First, a cylinder has one curved surface and 2 flat faces which are identical. Second, the 2 circular bases are congruent to each other. Next, its size depends on the radius of the base and height of the curved surface. Unlike cone, cube or void, a cylinder doesn't have any vertex. It means there is no specific corner present in the cylinder. Lastly, the base and the top of cylinder are identical, which means it has the same base, either circular or elliptical.
So, in this section, we will present you the calculation that we get. To do this calculation, I divide into 3 different circles. We start with circle A, which is the biggest one. First, I calculate the perimeter of complete circle. The formula that I use is 2 pi r with the radius 225.5 mm. Next, I calculate the area of complete circle, which I use pi r square with the same radius. Second, I calculate the circle B, which is the middle part. First, I find the angle for the calculation of arc and sector. I divide 316 degree with 20 to get angle 18 degree. Then I change it into radian, which is I times it with pi divide by 118 degree. Then I calculate the perimeter of complete circle. I use formula 2 pi r with the radius 117 mm. Next, I calculate the arc with the same radius and the angle that I find it before. After that, I calculate the area of sector with the formula theta r square divided by 2. Lastly, I calculate the area of complete circle. I use pi r square with the radius 117 mm. After that, we go to the smallest circle, which is circle C. Same as before, I start with the perimeter using the same formula. Likewise, I repeat the same process that I do in calculating circle B, which is I search for the arc, area of sector and area of complete circle. To add more, we calculate the dartboard from side view. This is because it looks like a rectangle. To start with, we calculate the area of rectangle using the formula base times height with 451 as the base and 38 as the height. Then I calculate the Lastly, I calculate the volume of the dartboard. Since the dartboard has the shape of a cylinder, I use the pi r square h as the formula to calculate the volume, using 225.5 as the radius and 38.1 as the height, bringing us to the final answer, which is 6086504.407 mm cube.
You can be right. Think I told you that I never would. I told you I changed, even when I knew I never could. Know that I can't find nobody else's.
Assalamualaikum, and today I will be talking about ALDA HQ. This is the topic for our group assignment. The history of ALDA HQ. The ALDA HQ is the first circular building of its kind in the Middle East. It is located in Al Raha Beach, a new city on the outskirts of Abu Dhabi, in the capital of UAE. This is the first part of a venture that was completed and will house more than 120,000 people. The building is visible from the Dubai Abu Dhabi highway and enjoys a privileged location surrounded by the city, the sea and the canal. This building offers open plan office accommodation, integrated services and spectacular views of the city, canal and sea, with easy access to the leisure and retail outlets of Al Dana and Al Raha Beach. This iconic commercial building of height 121 meter is the headquarters of the property developer ALDA of Abu Dhabi. This building takes 3 to 4 years to completely build and designed in Qatar by NZ and partners in 2005. Arup became the senior advisor to the project and got the cost of the building completed at 12 months to project of the first building engineering concept. The project was developed following the principles of the American System of Classification of U.S. Green Building Council LEED and offers 62,000 meters squared of office space over 23 floors. This building also received several awards and recognition, including the Best Futuristic Design Award by the Building Exchange and Silver LEED as Green Building Council, USA.
Alright, now we go to the truly concept about the buildings. So, the original concepts about the building dates back to 2005. Following the construction boom of Abu Dhabi and in an effort to put the area on the map, the Study MZ architects undertook the design of ALDA HQ, a building that changed and expanded the Abu Dhabi skyline forever. This icon of architecture was designed to shine in the center of real estate development for Al Raha Beach. The headquarters of the company was on the rise from the sea and becomes a reference point for the area of the city, as well as for the group behind its creation. For the architect Marwan Zuhair, the power of the monument is in its simplicity. His enthusiasm for the project led to a clear goal, to create a simple object, bold and powerful presence that was able to compete with the iconic architecture of the UAE and create a sense of belonging and identity of the area. Inspired by the clamshell that has a deep meaning for Abu Dhabi with its maritime heritage and the symbolism of the geometric round shape, the architect imagined two giant circular curved walls of glass that evoke an open shell. This thinking was born of pure, geometric but extremely ambitious, a skyscraper round with curved glass skin. Furthermore, the circle symbolizes unity, stability and rationality. It is also the symbol of infinity, without beginning or end, perfection and the ultimate geometric symbol. It represents a completeness which encompasses all space and time. Inspired by the symbolism of the circle and the sphere, architects have used the geometric round shape in their building designs since the beginning of time. For example, the circulation of the Tholos, the Greek temple with a round ground plan rather than a square or rectangular one, is usual in Greek architecture and has also been used later on in the Roman building typology. So, throughout the modern history of architecture, architects have also been designing and realizing circular-based buildings, round towers as well as domes and spheres used notably in the development of planetarium amphitheaters. The circular shape has always been used in the ground and floor plans with the traditional building elevation and roof. However, no one has attempted to build a structure completely circular in elevation. Such an idea would normally be left on sketch.
So, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Asif bin Azmi. So, it's my turn to talk about calculation of ALDA HQ. Volume of this building. So, we agreed, our group agreed that we assume that this building formed from a cylinder and two spherical cap. So, it can be more easier to our team to find the area and the volume of ALDA HQ. So next, measure of ALDA HQ. We get from Google. We discover that the meter that we get information from Google is 121 meter, cylinder length 10 meter, and total width 36.4 meter. So next is area of ALDA HQ. We divide two part for ALDA HQ. It's cylinder and spherical cap. So the area of cylinder without bases, the formula is 2 pi of H. So diameter is 121. So radius we divide by 2, 60.5. 8 is length of cylinder. So we get it's given 10, and we put it in the formula. We get 3,801.82 meter square. So for area of two spherical cap, formula is n c square divided by 4 plus h square. So c in this term is diameter. So 121 square divided by 4 plus 13. We get 13 from total width 36.4. 36.4 we minus by 10 the length of cylinder, divide by 2 because we have two spherical cap. So we put it in the formula and we get 12,029.94 meter square. So that is for one spherical cap. So we have two spherical cap, we multiply by 2 and we get 24,059.89 meter square. So total area of ALDA HQ we just plus 3,801.82 meter square plus 24,059.89 meter square. So we get 27,861.71 meter square. So next, volume of ALDA HQ. We also divide the ALDA HQ by two parts. So cylinder and spherical cap. So cylinder, volume of cylinder, the formula is pi r square multiplied by h. So radius is 121 diameter divided by 2, and then we square it, multiply by 10 the length of cylinder, and we get 114,990.15 meter cubic. So that is volume of cylinder. Then next is volume of two spherical cap. The formula is 1/6 pi h multiplied by 3a square plus h square. So it's the same. So 8 is 36.4 minus by 10 divided by 2 for h. So a we get that 121 divided by 2 is basically a radius square plus h, the same calculation. So we put it in the formula, then we get 77097.76 meter cubic. So that is for one spherical cap. So two spherical cap we multiply by 2 and we get 154.1 195.51 meter cubic. So total value is 269,185.66 meter cubic. So that's all for me. Thank you.